I got to Freddy's at 11:50. As soon as I entered, I ran straight to the back of the building. I didn't have the courage to look at those animatronics in the eye. I know it sounds silly, but it was true. When I entered the office, it was a complete wreck. There were papers on the floor, the fan was flung across the room, and the camera screen had a small crack in it. That's weird, I thought, as I pressed the play button on the answering machine.
Hello? Wow. Day 4. Good job.
The man sounded dull and non-quirky like he always was. I also heard what sounded like a loud banging in the background of the message. I was starting to get this creeped out feeling.
Hey, I might not be around to send you any more messages. It's been a bad night here.
I was wondering what exactly was going on and started getting a small sense of anxiety rising in my stomach.
Hey, if you get the chance, could you check one of those suits in the back? I might be...
The sound of a familiar tune cut him off. It was the tune that Freddy always used to play as part of his act. Is Freddy doing something to this man?
Oh no.
The message kept going as I heard the sound of the man and some other thing scream, along with a very loud cracking sound. I was terrified, shocked with fear. I couldn't move. What happened to him? Did he just die? That would explain the place being a mess, but how did this happen? It sounded like something impossible. No computer program creation could act like this, even if it was malfunctioning. I sat for an hour, not looking at the cameras or door lights. I was too terrified to do anything. What snapped me out of my daze was the sound of heavy footsteps approaching me on the right. I didn't check the door lights. I didn't even look at the cameras. I ran out of the room to the right to face whatever thing was making the footsteps. I was confident, angry, and scared all at the same time. As soon as I entered the East Hall, those feelings left me. All except for the fear. There in the darkness, looking straight at me, were a pair of white eyes. I just looked at it until it began moving towards me and started laughing. It sounded like Freddy. And then it spoke.
You forgot the rules.
Help me.
Everybody needs to have a soul suit.
Terrified, I ran straight back into the security office. As soon as I entered, I began hearing footsteps right behind me. I shut the door as fast as I could, and as soon as I was about to close the other door, I saw the fox running down the hallway straight for me. I pressed the door button right before it entered, its nose being less than a foot away from me. I sat and let the power drain. By 2 a.m. I was at 72%. By 3, 49%. At 4 a.m., it was 28%, and at 5:30, it was 12%. I didn't know if I could survive, and I began not to care. I was slipping away. One of my favorite childhood memories have turned into a horrific nightmare. I woke up to my boss shaking me. He told me it was 7 a.m. and I needed to go home. That there had been an accident. I asked what the problem was and he said that I shouldn't worry, that I should go and get some rest. He appeared not to care that I was sleeping on the job and just let me go without saying a word on the matter. When I stepped outside, there was a lot of police cars everywhere. I saw some officers talking to the owner and others writing down information. I also saw that car from a couple nights ago when I arrived for my shift parked in the parking lot. It had caution tape around it, which led me to believe it belonged to the previous guard. When I got home, I did all my research on finding some information on the old security guard. There was hardly anything to go on, so I figured I would just ask my boss tomorrow. For now, I just had to get some sleep. I really didn't want to go to work tonight. I was far too scared, but I had no choice. I desperately needed the money. When I arrived, my boss was waiting outside for me. Hello, sir.
Shut your mouth.
Excuse me? Is there a problem?
Yeah, there is.
He began moving towards me.
That old security guard, the guy whose job you took, he's dead.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I ain't kidding. The funny thing is, you are the only person that could have been in there with him when it happened.
What are you saying?
Oh, quit playing all innocent. You know that you killed him. I have no evidence other than you being with him at the time of the incident. I will find more evidence, and you will be locked up.
I can tell you that, in fact, I've never even met the person. So, accusing me isn't going to get you very far.
Then who did it? An intruder? There were no signs of forced entry. The animatronics? Impossible.
He didn't wait for me to finish. He stormed away to his car and drove away. I entered and sprinted to the security office. I just wanted to get this night over with, and the only place I wanted to see those animatronics is on the cameras, not anywhere else. I entered the office, and something strange caught my attention. I saw that I had a message. I thought it was from my boss, so I pressed play. I was completely wrong. What I heard was a deep voice saying a bunch of gibberish, along with a few screams. The voice sounded a bit like Freddy's, but I'm not too sure it was. With the way they've been acting, I wouldn't be surprised if they left this horrid message. I couldn't even figure out what he was saying, which frightened me further. I immediately picked up the tablet and began checking on the stage in Pirates Cove. Those places are where the creatures start at, so my safest bet was to watch those places carefully. The camera then went dark. I began hearing pots and pans shuffling around in the kitchen. This made me tense up because I knew one of the things started moving. When the cameras came back on, I decided to check everywhere for the animatronics. Freddy was still on stage, but Bonnie and Chica were gone. The curtain in Pirates Cove was also halfway open, but that wasn't my main concern right now. I then tried to locate Bonnie and Chica. I found Bonnie at camera 3, and he was just staring at me through the camera. His face close enough that I could see his endoskeleton eyes. I began to scan around for Chica, but I couldn't find her. When I hit the door lights, Chica was outside, her jaw wide open. I closed the door to avoid her getting in. As soon as I did that, I began hearing Freddy's tune play. I checked the camera and saw that Freddy was in the audience area, though I could only see those white eyes. I checked the door lights and saw that Chica was gone, so I opened the door. I checked the cameras again. Bonnie and Chica were now standing on opposite sides of Freddy. I checked Pirates Cove and the curtain was wide open, so I closed the door immediately, knowing that the fox would soon be here. Checking the cameras again, I saw something lying next to Bonnie. It was the fox. Its eyes were wide open, but it was limp. The cameras then went black, and Freddy's tune got slower and more, well, demonic sounding. The cameras came back on, and I saw that now, in front of the whole gang, was a limp Freddy Fazbear suit, with eyes dangling out of the front of the mask, and streams of dried blood stained upon the sockets. The cameras went dark again, and the tune picked up speed gradually. I began hearing footsteps closing in at every angle, and I hit both of the door buttons as fast as I could. Then I blacked out. I woke up to banging on the door. I checked the time. 5:55 a.m. I checked the cameras and saw that each of the animatronics were in their respective spots. I thought my boss showed up early and wanted to come in, so I opened the door. When I did, I saw that same Freddy Fazbear suit, with the eyes dangling out of the sockets of the front of the mask. I was sure that I could also see some teeth, but I didn't want to look too close. I ran away out through the other door, and I left the building and drove home as fast as I could. So, I received a letter in the mail with my check from Freddy's and a "You're fired" note. I didn't even care. I just wanted to get back to my normal life. I didn't want to spend another day in that place. I contacted the authorities and told them about what I experienced in the place, but they told me I should just get some rest. Yeah, right. What happened in that place for kids was not right. There is something very wrong. I heard that the place is scheduled to close down soon, but might have a grand reopening next year. All I know is that whatever went on in there could not be achieved by an AI-controlled suit. I now see that what I truly loved as a kid was just one huge nightmare.